Hello everybody, this is gonna be the another video of the 10 top most haunted places in the state of Washington. So we have number 10, Tacoma Old City Hall. It may be worth noticing that the police have been called to this location various times throughout the 1970s. Many passing through had called the police after seeing flickering lights randomly turning off and on. Each time the police have arrived, there's no forced entry or intrusion. In fact, there's no intruder. Reports of fire alarms going off at odd hours of the day were often reported entirely enough that there would be some paranormal activity. Even the police cannot find anything. Alright, we have number 9, Rucker Mansion. Located in Everett, this mansion was home to the Rucker family. They were responsible for incorporating the city of north of Seattle, and today still stands as a hustling and bustling suburb. It's said that the majority of the family died from jumping out of the windows. But her spirit still remains, where she'll be playing a beautiful song on the piano. Oh my god, that's the creepiest one. Okay, we have number 8, Meeker Mansion. However many haunted mansions are there in Washington State anyway? Your guess is as good as ours. But here's one located in Puyallup that belonged to Ezra and Eliza Meeker. Like the Rucker family, the Meekers were pioneers who were responsible for establishing the city of Puyallup. If you were to enter inside the house, you may encounter strong smells of perfume and the spirit of Ezra Meeker himself. You may also encounter some phantom-like happenings inside the house where the spirits of Ezra and Eliza have resided well over 100 years. This place is never short of any suspicious and perhaps paranormal activity. We have number 7, the Tokeland Hotel. Like haunted mansions, there's probably a haunted hotel in Washington State that has a story about some spirit ended up there in the first place. One such guest that might overstay his welcome was a Chinese immigrant who went by the name Charlie, who met his untimely death when he was hiding in a spot behind the fireplace. The smoke seemed to overpower Charlie to the point that he died from suffocation. Today, the ghost of Charlie is relatively harmless and is usually seen on the grounds of the Tokeland Hotel. It's located in the small sea town of Tokeland. Oh my god. Jeez, that's a pretty worst one. But it's worth seeing. It's a good haunted little place. Some places are not known to be haunted, keep in mind. Some are just in the middle, and some are really the most haunted places, even in Washington State. We have number 6, Butterworth Building. Today, the Butterworth Building is now Cal's Irish Pub. Before that, it was a mortuary that had seen its share of dead bodies from various causes of death, like disease, violence, incidents, you name it. Since it was mortuary, you have heard stories of bodies going unclaimed for many years. So it would be no surprise excuse me, if you would come across spirits that may come and go so quickly. Plus, the visions of shadowy figures would often come as no surprise to anyone who frequented this pub. Number 5, Oxford Saloon. In the early years of Washington statehood, the Oxford Saloon became a place for not just only dried goods, but also a place where people came to drink and have a good time. Of course, it all came with the stories of violent fights and murders as well. Kind of sounds like the old Wild West movie, right? Over the years, the Oxford Saloon has seen has seen quite a lot of paranormal activity. Patrons have reported seeing various shadowy figures moving around, even the spirit of a police officer hanging around in the bathroom. Some have even felt a random cold spots in the women's bathroom. If you grab a bite to eat or drink, there's a branch to this establishment. Alright, we're down to a few more. Mount Baker Theater, number 4, is the fourth one. If you're in Bellington, if you want to catch a show, the Mount Baker Theater might be the place to go. You may want to check the place out, even if there's not anything going on. If you're allowed in, you may have some have reported leaving the theater and feeling random cold spots along seeing various light orbs. Others have reported a voice calling people's names at completely random. It's also said that if they were lost in the crowd looking for someone, if you want something that will leave your hair rising, you might want to take the opportunity to catch a show there. Okay, we have number 3, Campbell House. Known as a Northwest Museum of Arts and Culture, the Campbell House has reported some paranormal activity that may be creepy, to say the least. One such occurrence was someone looking at the portraits only to see the eyes moving along with them. It was almost as if they were being watched. You thought this happened in horror films. Well, it may happen in real life too. This house was also the site of a triple murder of Esme Campbell's children. A fourth one was adopted and never seen again. There is no doubt that the spirits of all of the Campbell children may be wandering the halls even today. Number 2, Starvation Heights Sanitarium. This was an old hospital designed for treating patients, and the treatment of patients was anything by humane. The old medical facility was owned by Dr. Linda Hazard and her husband, Dr. Hazard, believing that starving her patients was a good treatment method. However, many of her patients died under her care, while the public viewed her as a strong leader. The bodies of the dead were being buried in the effort of cover up the facility's poor treatment of patients. My God. That's so sad. That's the saddest one. But and then she gets her karma. It was later burned down and was never rebuilt. It seemed like karma for someone who treated her patients so cruelly, while the crematorium and a couple of buildings still stand. There were several spirits that wander the grounds today, along with the sounds of pain, screams, and moaning. That's a lot of suffering. I hope all those spirits of that place rest in peace. Okay, so we have number 1, the last one out of all of this, is the Norfolk State Mental Hospital. Southwest of Bellingham, in the town of Sedgwick, the psychiatric clinic was cited well over 2,000 deaths. Thus, causes ranged from hard labor and treatments gone horribly wrong. Imagine electric shock treatment. The laboratory going south pretty quickly. This happened almost frequently at the Northern States Mental Hospital. Considering the amount of deaths that occurred here, you also may guarantee that to feel or see some paranormal activity. One person who managed to gain access inside had claimed that they have seen the spirit of an old man in a wheelchair and a nurse right behind him pushing it along. Alright, so there you have it. That's the 10 top most haunted places in the state of Washington. I think the number 2 was the saddest one though. And out of all. Number 2 is the saddest one out of all. The others were not so bad, but just regular paranormal activity. Weird happenings. Okay. That's all I have for right now for this video. And for all the places in the state of Washington right now. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. Please leave a like. And I'll be back with more next time. And so, until next time. Bye-bye.